From the factory, BMW makes some amazing suspension systems. But with my Sportline 340i, it felt like BMW prioritized comfort over handling. I couldn't take the factory body roll, squat, and dive any longer, so I decided to look into some aftermarket options. The F30 chassis is extremely popular, and there is a huge selection of aftermarket handling upgrades to choose from. I considered upgrading the sway bars or just going with lowering springs, but I ultimately decided to go with the ST XA Coilovers for their price and adjustability. All of the coilovers from ST give you the ability to adjust the ride height, which was a huge selling point for me. But with these being my first coilovers ever, I was worried that the ride quality might be too stiff and take away from the drivability. That led me to the XA Coilovers, which give you rebound adjustment. My fears about the ride quality, however, quickly dissipated as I currently run them on their stiffest setting, but it gives me peace of mind to know that I can always soften the suspension a little bit if I ever need to. Springs did seem like a good option, but I didn't like the idea that I'd be locked into one ride height and one stiffness setting. Another downside with springs is that the shocks and springs weren't designed together from the beginning, which may lead to increased wear on the shocks and just a poorer handling car. When you consider installation costs, if you're not doing the work yourself, it just made more sense for me to do the right thing the first time and get coilovers. That led me to consider a few different options, but I kept coming back to the ST XA Coilovers. ST can be considered a more budget-friendly line of products, and their parent company is KW, which is one of the biggest suspension manufacturers in the world. The trade-off with the ST coilovers is that they use galvanized steel construction with, quote, an additional coating, as opposed to the stainless steel construction that the KW products use. That means that these coilovers might be more susceptible to rust, but after doing some research and seeing people who live in areas with road salt not experience any real issues, I decided this wouldn't be a deal breaker for me, especially when the ST XA coilovers can be had for around $1,300. The KW V2s, which I think are the most comparable to the XA coilovers, cost around $2,000. After getting the suspension installed, I noticed a huge improvement right away with the car's handling. Everything from cornering to accelerating to braking was instantly improved. However, it did take me a few weeks to wait for the springs to settle and adjust the ride height to a level where I was comfortable with, meaning I wasn't scraping on every single driveway, but I still wanted to be considerably lower than stock to bring the car's center of gravity down and improve the looks. The ST XA coilovers for the F30 give you a height adjustment in the front from 1 inch down to 2 inches down, and in the rear 1.2 inches to 2.2 inches. In my experience, this is plenty of adjustability, and I'm sure you'll be able to find a ride height that's suitable for your needs.
When changing to a stiffer suspension, there will of course be some ride quality trade-offs. However, I think it's very minimal with this suspension system, even on its stiffest setting. I drive this car every day, and I'm confident that most car enthusiasts would have no issue driving this car every single day. Hopefully this video helped you, or at the very least was entertaining. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. And if you're interested in seeing more BMW and F30 content, consider subscribing.